Konnichiwa. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Sweeney, the Principal Deputy Librarian of the Library of Congress, and I'm honored to be here today at the National Diet Library to discuss details of the Library of Congress fiscal year 2024 to 2028 strategic plan, A Library for All. And some of the key initiatives that we are pursuing to realize our vision of connecting people to the library, including our digital transformation efforts and our new visitor experience. As you may know, the Library of Congress is the largest library in the world with more than 178 million books, films, videos, audio recordings, photographs, newspapers, maps, manuscripts, and many more items in its collection. The library is the main research arm of the United States Congress and home of the United States Copyright Office. As part of its mission to engage, inspire, and inform Congress and the American people with a universal, enduring source of knowledge and creativity, the library provides a wide variety of services, including stewardship of our unparalleled collections, reference, research, and analysis for Congress and researchers, copyright registration, and public events and public programs. We are committed to continue expanding access and enhancing our many services, strengthening our capacities, and fostering innovation in service of building lifelong and meaningful connections with our users of today and of tomorrow. With collections and expertise to engage, inspire, and inform each of our users, we know that we can realize our vision of connecting with all Americans, because the Library of Congress is a library for everyone. First, a look backward. 6 years ago, the Library of Congress launched our FY 29 to 23 strategic plan, Enriching the Library Experience. For the first time, each of our strategic goals were intended to encompass the library's service units, which included Discovery and Preservation Services, the Law Library of Congress, the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled, and Researcher and Collection Services, as well as the Congressional Research Service and the United States Copyright Office, and the Library of Congress's IT and operational units. This was a very different type of plan for the library, focusing first and foremost on what unifies us as a single organization, while also aligning each of our service units' discrete business missions. It cultivated a mindset of being user-centered, data-driven, and digitally enabled. Developing that plan helped us consider how to think about our users. Congress, creators, connectors, and learners. These groups represent the broadest categories of communities that we seek to engage, starting first and foremost with Congress. The library's Congressional Research Service, CRS, remains steadfast in its core priorities of providing customized research and analysis for congressional clients. The library's Copyright Office advises Congress on matters of copyright policy, including issues raised by artificial intelligence, AI, including the scope of copyright in works generated using AI tools and the use of copyrighted materials in AI training. The Law Library of Congress provides timely, innovative, and comprehensive research in foreign, comparative, and international law, and the experts in the library's research and collection services unit responded to over 1,300 research requests from Congress from many of our reading rooms. Our next group are creators, researchers, originators of new knowledge and scholarship, builders of cultural capacity, and copyright users and stakeholders. For example, Researcher and Collection Services delivers an exceptional research experience, inspiring users to discover, learn, and create through engagement with the library's unparalleled collections, trusted services, and interaction with expert staff. The Copyright Office administers the nation's copyright registration system and provides authoritative information to the public about copyright law and rights holding. Next would be learners, those of any age who seek understanding and knowledge through the library's digital and physical collections and services. The library ensures meaningful engagement with learners, providing an environment where intellectual curiosity is celebrated and knowledge is accessible to everyone. Discovery and preservation services optimizes user discovery and collections usability through preservation. Digitization, metadata creation, and technology as the library's tangible and digital collections continue to grow. And our Centers for Exhibit and Interpretation creates exhibitions, learning spaces, and publications that provide physical and virtual access to the library's collections. For example, our popular Live at the Library series invites visitors to enjoy the library and its collections in new formats during extended evening hours on Thursday nights. The series regularly features special conversations, music, performances, films, and workshops that showcase the broad range of holdings of the National Library. Finally, connectors. External communities such as libraries, schools, and other groups and institutions that ultimately connect users back to the Library of Congress. The library is making significant strides in cultivating a passion for learning through innovative initiatives and interactive programming that embraces diverse cultures and communities. Among the library's most engaging programs, our National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled provides life-enhancing services to millions of Americans with blindness and other print disabilities through a national network of libraries that distribute the latest contemporary literature in a variety of accessible formats. Programs like the Youth Ambassador, the State Centers for the Book, and the National Book Festival are broadening our outreach and strengthening our influence. And the library actively collaborates with educators, librarians, and literacy champions, fostering creativity and collaborative uses of library resources. In 2019, we also launched the library's first digital strategy, a plan that laid out a bold vision for the library to throw open our treasure chest, connect, and invest in our digital future. Together, the library's strategic plan and the digital strategy were our guides to creating and cementing lifelong and meaningful connections with our users of today and tomorrow. The library was able to make extraordinary progress in service of our strategic and digital goals, despite the substantial upheaval of the global pandemic. I'm proud of the results that we achieved during those plans, including executing major IT modernization efforts to support our work with Congress and those in the copyright community, extending our reach far beyond Washington, D.C. with increased access to digital content and records from across all of our service units, improving infrastructure, governance, and support for modernizing and streamlining our operational capabilities, and driving significant progress on our new Visitor Experience Master Plan, and using data in ways to share the powerful story of our work. Following on these achievements, last year, the library launched a new strategic plan for fiscal year 2024 to 2028. I'm excited to introduce to you our current plan, which will guide the library and communicate our priorities and commitments to members of Congress, the staff, and all library users, as well as our supporters, collaborators, and partners. This plan represents the next phase of our user-centered journey that began in 2019, building on the library's many accomplishments. It also acknowledges that we at the library are part of an interconnected, digitally enabled world. Our users and staff expect us to be digitally enabled and connected, and now is the time for our strategy to signal our commitment to elevating, embracing, and integrating digital into everything that we do. Before we get into the details, I want to share with everyone a reminder of the big picture, the mission and vision of our great institution. First, the mission. Engage, inspire, and inform Congress and the American people with a universal and enduring source of knowledge and creativity. Every day, millions of people of all ages engage with the Library of Congress to be informed, to be inspired, and to seek and to create knowledge. Our vast and expanding collections engage intellect, cultivate curiosity, and spark creativity. They reveal the stories of the United States, and it connects us to the world. Services to Congress, of course, remain the focus and the foundation of the library's mission. We continue to engage, inspire, and inform Congress through our collections, services, and experiences, including on-demand analysis, policy consultations, briefings, events, programs, and constituent engagement. Services to the American people requires us a user-centered approach for ever-growing, ever-changing communities, to welcome those visiting and interacting with the library in person, and many, many more interacting online. To fulfill our role as a steward and a resource for all of our users, the library continues to mature our digital capabilities and strategically integrate digital approaches in all that we do. We use the promise of technology to enable new and innovative approaches to meet in-person and online needs. And that leads to our vision, which is very intentionally aspirational. Our vision remains, all Americans are connected to the Library of Congress. By enhancing awareness of the library's offerings, improving access to those resources, and increasing usage through a suite of services that meet diverse needs, the library will continue to connect with more people and in more meaningful ways. Leveraging digital technology and fostering innovation, we strive to be recognized as trustworthy and approachable, to steward our unique content and services through continuous conversations and improvement, and to balance our evergreen resources with forward-thinking ability to meet modern challenges. To develop our current strategy, the library's strategic planning and digital strategy teams came together to create a clear, forward-looking, and user-centered plan that would be relevant to all and guide all parts of the agency for the next 5 years. This work included scores of discussions and working sessions with external stakeholders, researchers, internal staff, and leaders, including a group of 45 experts from every service unit who came together to share and discuss the priorities that transcend our organizational boundaries and unify our discrete service units. The shared priorities that emerged became our strategic themes. The first theme that emerged was the continued need for the library to be digitally enabled. Digital technology now permeates every aspect of the library as is necessary to meet the needs of a rapidly changing world. Digital access at the Library of Congress means more than working online. It also includes themes such as collaboration, inclusiveness, and resilience. The library is already digitally enabled, and incorporating digital considerations throughout our plan reinforced our commitments to expand our digital capabilities in a strategic, trustworthy, and approachable way. Next was our continued desire to be user-centered. Since its establishment over 200 years ago, the library has evolved from an institution exclusively serving Congress to one that also serves a much broader audience. As a user-centered organization, we prioritize first understanding and then meeting the needs, wants, and expectations of our users. We recognize that enhancing the user experience is an ongoing process rather than a one-time event. Users can assume different roles and engage with the library in many different capacities. Understanding these various interactions across platforms and locations is crucial for designing and delivering the best user experience. We continue to be committed to creating personal relevance and values for our users, ensuring that their interactions with our collection items and services inspires a lasting connection. Our data-informed strategic theme is an evolution of the data-driven priority from our 2019-2023 strategy. At the Library of Congress, we thoughtfully use data and analytics to inform our decisions. Good data provides valuable insights into the behaviors, the preferences, and the needs of communities, and helps us improve their experience as users maximize the impact of our resources and services. Access to more high-quality, aggregated data about our users, collected and used responsibly with safeguards for their privacy, allows us to generate new insights that can lead to greater efficiency and effectiveness. As well, the library staff are empowered by this data to turn what they learn into principled action, working with users and with each other to address issues they emerge and take timely improvements. Additionally, we want to prioritize an environment that is inclusive and welcoming for everyone. Time and again, planning sessions, discussions noted the value of different voices, experiences, and cultures in telling a more complex national story. The library serves a diverse nation, and we seek to reflect that in a workforce that has diversity of many kinds, of skills, of background, of abilities, and of perspectives. We also must strive to foster a supportive and inclusive culture that promotes a sense of belonging within the library community. We are all better able to contribute our unique insights and talents to accomplishing our shared goals when we're part of an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered. Next, there was a great energy across all of the library's service units about the importance of collaboration and partnership to expanding the library's reach and amplifying our impact. Through collaborations with appropriate partners, the library can tap into a broader network of expertise, collections, and resources. Partnerships provide opportunities for joint initiatives and shared projects that yield new or enriched content and deeper connections to the communities we serve. This allows us to unlock possibilities, to leverage collective strengths, to learn from our partners, and to innovate in the pursuit of enhanced operations and services. The final theme that shaped our strategic plan is community engagement. Active engagement with our user communities offers us a valuable insight into their needs, interests, and aspirations of users. It also gives us the benefit of their perspectives as experts regarding our collections related to their communities. This helps us to develop programs, services, and resources that resonate with and meet the unique needs of a diverse user community. Community engagement also promotes inclusivity, ensuring that the library's offerings are accessible, available, and relevant to users from various backgrounds, cultures, and abilities. Through our collective voices, shared experiences, and collaborative efforts, we shape a future and preserve a past where everyone's story can be valued and heard. These themes affirm that we strive to be digitally enabled, user-centered, data-informed, inclusive and welcoming, and that we seek collaboration and partnership, actively engaging with our communities. These themes permeate our work and inform the strategic plan that guides us in expanding our reach and deepening our impact with our users. A Library for All is a plan that represents the next phase of the exciting journey that we began in 2019. It includes strategic goals that are both enhancements of some of the goals from our previous plan and new successor goals that reflect the maturation of our work over the past years. As well, these goals now fully encompass the library's digital strategy, recognizing that in today's context, the contributions of digital technology permeate all our work. Our first strategic goal is to expand access. With this goal, we strive to continue to make our unique collections, experts, and services available when, where, and how our users need them. Through our stewardship, the library preserves the history and the cultural heritage of the United States and curates our growing collections to best serve all of our potential users. However, the library is more than its extraordinary collections. It also is a world-renowned and unparalleled center of knowledge. Our staff, our librarians, archivists, technicians, specialists, and curators offer a wealth of experience and expertise to those seeking information and research assistance. Our researchers and analysts in the Congressional Research Service and the Law Library provide authoritative advice and insights to members of Congress. Our Copyright Office staff advises Congress and provides information to the public about the complex copyright issues, including those raised by emerging technology. In today's digital age, many, if not most of our users first meet the library through a digital experience. Many who visit us, perhaps most, will do so virtually, never setting foot within our walls. This drives our commitment to creating virtual experiences for our collections and services that leave these users as delighted, inspired, curious, and informed as those who enter the library's iconic Great Hall. For the next 5 years, our work to expand access will focus on 4 objectives. First, to continue to increase discoverability, availability, and accessibility of our collections, experts, and services, whether users are visiting Washington, D.C. or accessing the library remotely. Next, to continue to build and enrich the library's collections and content to serve Congress and the American communities. This means thoughtfully growing our collections, reflecting the breadth, diversity, experience, and needs of the American people. Next, to sustain access to knowledge and creativity. We must ensure that the library's universal and enduring repository of our nation's knowledge and creativity is secure for the present and for posterity through meticulous conservation and preservation. And finally, to engage the visitors with inviting and inspiring digital and in-person spaces. We will welcome visitors to our physical spaces where they can enjoy reimagined experiences. We will invite them to connect not only with our beautiful spaces, but also with our collections and services. Of equal importance, we will inspire virtual visitors whose experiences are expanding in an online presence. Our second strategic goal is our continued goal to enhance services. The library remains an authoritative source of knowledge that enriches the American people in countless ways. Our services are vital to Congress, to the community of copyright users, researchers, visitors, blind and print-disabled citizens, and many others. We directly serve the American people with programs like the Veterans History Project that preserves and makes accessible the firsthand recollections of U.S. military veterans, and Teaching with Primary Sources that allows teachers in local school districts to create curricula using the library's digitized collections. The library is in the forefront of making our resources available and useful to those who come to our buildings in a digital form for those who cannot. We seek to better understand the communities we serve and those we aspire to serve, continually evolving and adapting to their needs and expanding the avenues by which they can interact with us to create thought-provoking, inspiring, and memorable experiences, fostering trust and establishing lasting connections to the library. With this goal, we continue to commit to creating valuable experiences for every user to forge lifelong connections to the library. For the next 5 years, our work to enhance services will focus on 4 objectives. First, to understand and engage our communities, to provide services and resources that align with their diverse needs and interests. Second, to enhance digital services to meet our community's needs. Third, to provide trustworthy and authoritative data. And finally, to collaborate to amplify our impact. Our third strategic goal in our new plan is a new goal, to strengthen capacity. This goal is an evolution of our previous goal to optimize resources. With this goal, we continue to commit to supporting our staff and to strengthening our operations. Staff are at the heart of the Library of Congress. They represent the apex of their profession, bringing unparalleled knowledge, expertise, and experience to bear for the benefit of our users. As such, we will prioritize and invest in their development and success, and ensure they are supported by an inclusive and respectful workplace. To strengthen our operations, we will streamline our processes and advance the systems that support them, making the most of today's evolving technologies and operational best practices to deliver for our users. For the next 5 years, our work to strengthen capacity will focus on 4 objectives. The first 2 focus on our workforce, including supporting a flexible, diverse, and cohesive workforce. Second, to developing staff capabilities with an emphasis on digital skills, as we know that digital literacy is a universal skill for all, and we must ensure our staff can develop skills needed to excel. We also have an objective, a commitment really, to promote a safe, fair, inclusive, and collaborative environment, because a workforce that feels supported is a crucial component to delivering a high level of performance. And finally, we will continue to be good stewards with our commitment to streamline our operations and deliver broadly accessible formats and resources, providing cost-efficient modern infrastructure and digitally enhanced services. Our fourth and final strategic goal is a new goal that captures the energy and excitement many library staff bring to work every day, to foster innovation. With this goal, we commit to exploring new approaches and emerging technologies to address challenges and spark creativity. We will consider, develop, and implement new methods and technologies that enable visionary ways to access, discover, and synthesize knowledge that were unthinkable just a few years ago. Exploring these new techniques allows us to provide better access to and to make the most of our immense collections. We will encourage library staff and collaborators to take well-considered risks, propose innovative ideas, and explore uncharted territory to bring value to the library and to its users. We want to expand the work of innovators using library collections to develop groundbreaking projects, initiatives, and services that have transformational potential. Our objectives under this work include: first, inviting curiosity and experimentation to meet evolving challenges. This means empowering our staff and partners to be inquisitive and inventive as you seek to meet the challenges of a rapidly changing technology and user expectations. We also have an objective to innovate with imaginative approaches and emerging technologies. This means encouraging our users and staff to explore novel ways to interact with our collections through technological advances, combined with creativity and imagination, creating possibilities for extracting new knowledge. And finally, we will leverage data to discover new paths and opportunities. We will harness the use and power of data and data analysis to guide our programs, services, and systems. This plan is now our North Star, guiding our next 5 years with overarching goals and objectives. These goals will certainly drive new work, learning, and initiatives, but most importantly, these goals align with our priorities that our service units have already established for the next 5 years. And this is important because realization of the plan will be through our service units, who will determine how best to prioritize and align work to our continued shared goals of expand access and enhance services, as well as our new shared goal, strengthen capacity and foster innovation. The Library of Congress fiscal year 2019 through 2023 strategic plan presented a transformative vision for expanding the library's reach and deepening our impact. In conjunction with that plan, we launched the library's improved integrated planning, performance, and risk management framework, providing an approach for our service units to establish their goals, objectives, and determine the priority work needed to achieve them, to monitor that performance, and to demonstrate progress and impact, enabling us to process and progress on our strategy. An annual integrated framework cycle consists of 4 mandatory activities: service unit level multi-year planning for the library's programs, projects, and activities, annual performance planning, risk management and internal controls, and performance and risk reporting. Complementing and supporting the library's strategy are 5-year service unit plans that provide high-level information about the initiatives, programs, projects, and activities led by the service units, which directly map back to the library's larger strategic plan. In addition to identifying priority initiatives, these documents also articulate the expected impact of the work and propose measures that will be used to track progress and to demonstrate success. To facilitate effective management, promote accountability, and communicate the value of the library's work to the agency's stakeholders, service units set performance goals and then routinely report on the progress of their priority work. These reports highlight achievements, identifying challenges, and enable any necessary adjustments. I'd now like to highlight some of the priority work already underway this year in support of the library's 4 strategic goals. To expand access in 2024, the service units work to, first, improve accessibility of special format collections by reducing arrearages to less than 10% of the total collection by fiscal year 2028. Second, we continue to work on the library's Visitor Experience Master Plan to better connect audiences to the library, including opening the library's newest exhibit, Collecting Memories. We strategically digitized law library materials to better meet user needs, and we executed the library's digital collection strategy. Some of our priority work to driving progress on our goal to enhance services for our user communities included making the Copyright Office records digital, interconnected, searchable, and easily to navigate and improve the copyright user experience. We made our Braille and audio recording downloads products more user-friendly, leading to increased annual patronage and user satisfaction. And we developed new programming to engage users, including Live at the Library programming, Heritage Month events, and summer films on the lawn. The library set ambitious goals to optimize operations and systems for improved performance, including providing unified access to and search functionality across the collections, enabling easier navigation and discovery for users through implementation of Phase 1 of the library's new Collections Access platform. We are also implementing new features and content for Congress.gov, the official website of the U.S. Federal Legislative Information. And we are creating a more agile environment with access to powerful and collaborative cloud-based office productivity tools for library users. And finally, in support of our goal to foster innovation, we focused on leveraging data and innovative methods, including AI, to inform our services and public programs and expand awareness of the library's collections among Black, Indigenous, Latinx, Asian Pacific, and American Pacific Islanders and other communities in Connecting Communities Digital Initiative, and exploring using AI to enhance CRS products and services. the second part of the talk. In addition to the launch of the library's strategic plan in 2024, driving progress on all these ambitious performance goals, the library has also developed detailed plans guiding us through our continued digital transformation. In fiscal year 2017, the library published its digital collecting plan, which articulated our objectives over 5 years to expand digital collecting at the Library of Congress, focusing on the library's overall acquisition strategy for digital content through 2021. The digital collecting plan established digital collecting as a more efficient, coordinated, and routine activity across the agency. Its 5-year implementation resulted in the development of policies, technology, and workflows to enable and sustain large-scale acquisition of digital content collected via targeted acquisition streams. In late 2019, the library adopted its first agency-wide digital strategy, issued as a companion to the strategic plan. And while the 2017 digital collecting plan focused exclusively on expansion of the Born digital acquisitions, the digital strategy was broader and more aspirational. Its priorities included growing the library's digitization program, expanding digital collection use and access, leveraging digital engagement to increase and diversify its users, and investing in infrastructure not only to preserve the library's digital collections, but also enabling greater digital innovation. In fiscal 22, the library published another digital collection-related document, the Digital Collection Strategy. A successor to the 27 digital collecting plan, this 5-year plan through fiscal 26 expanded in scope to cover all aspects of our Born digital collecting and curation from an end to end. In addition to workflows, policies, and technical infrastructure supporting acquisitions, it also addressed digital preservation, staff training and development, user access considerations, and resource realignments required to support our growing digital collections at every stage of the Born digital lifecycle. Digital collection strategy implementation. An important digital collection strategy milestone has been the transition to e-preferred as an appropriate across major collecting streams. This means that in most cases, the library's collecting policy prioritizes acquisition of digital versions of a work as opposed to print versions. Open access content has been a major focus. These works are at a heightened risk of being lost because few library organizations are prioritizing the acquisition, storage, and maintenance of openly licensed digital content. Since the launch of the digital collection strategy, the library successfully piloted processes for acquiring, preserving, and processing open access ebooks and e-serials. These processes have now become routine and sustainable, resulting in the addition of hundreds of thousands of open access e-titles and nearly 400 journal titles now comprising the library's openly available serials archive. We are currently piloting and routinizing processes relating to acquisition and enabling our users to open access data sets and digital images and photos. As part of our work to modernize our IT infrastructure to support centralized digital collecting, we've also implemented a new digital submission portal, enabling efficient internet-based acquisition of content submitted by external donors and library partners. We piloted the portal in 23, using digital content and electronic media submissions to the library's American Folklake and Veterans History Project. Current efforts are focused on portal expansion, with a recent focus on digital scholarship submissions received through the Mellon-funded Of the People initiative, which aims to diversify our collections through community engagement. We are currently working on a United States Copyright Office rulemaking to add electronic copyright deposits from copyright registrations to our collections. In the United States, a mandatory copyright deposit process has historically required submission of published creative works to the United States Copyright Office to ensure copyright protection. Works deposited through this process may also be added to the library's collections. The current rulemaking aims to clarify copyright registration and deposit terms for digital works. In support of our e-preferred collecting policy, which is now in place, and efforts to grow electronic deposits received through copyright registration, we've completed a pilot focused on processing visual materials, recorded sound and musical works, and motion pictures and moving image works of the sort that are received through the copyright registration system. We have also identified exceptions to the e-preferred policy to support extended collecting flexibilities. And then finally, in 23, the library established its digitization strategy, documenting an approach to systematizing digitization of physical materials. So the digitization strategy implementation. We've completed preliminary analysis of our general collections to identify items that are in the public domain and not already available online to be prioritized for scanning. Initial findings revealed some 300,000 monographs and 60,000 serial titles are in the public domain and eligible for digitization. We will continue our efforts to digitize our unique special collections content, sharing these materials with the broadest possible audiences. We have also begun to work to increase automation and the end-to-end tracking of our digitization workflows. With the publication of the 2024-2028 Library of Congress Strategic Plan, the agency signaled that it had reached a maturity level with planning for our digital future, in which these activities would be incorporated throughout the agency's main strategic plan. The incorporation of digital into the library's strategic plan is the result of a growing digital maturity and the importance of technology in everything that we do. This integration represents a new phase for all things digital across our agency, involving ongoing use and adopting of emerging technologies, increasing understanding of and engagement with our communities, and interaction with other federal agencies and cultural heritage organizations. The work outlined in the digital collection strategy through 2026 and the digitization strategy through 2027 will continue to its completion. We have already made tremendous progress. Today, more than 6 million digital items are accessible to users via the Library of Congress website, and another 880,000 digital books and serial and many, many millions of serial articles are available through Stacks. That's the library's online, on-site only access system for rights-restricted digital content. Looking ahead, we will develop and issue successor documents to continue advancing our digital collections and digitization programs, bringing to life the vision set forth in our strategic plan. The last initiative that I'll discuss today is the library's visitor experience. The Library of Congress occupies 3 buildings on Capitol Hill. With 1.5 million annual visitors, the Thomas Jefferson Building has become a landmark destination, renowned for its architectural beauty and celebration of knowledge and creativity. The Jefferson Building can also be disorienting for our visitors, and they frequently ask, is this a library for me? And where are all the books? Today, when visitors enter the Great Hall of this historic building, they are overwhelmed in a complex space without a clear sense of where to go next. Visitors have difficulty navigating the building, locating destinations of interest, and assessing the distance they will need to travel or the time that it will take to spend at the library. In 2018, the library engaged an external design studio to develop a visitor experience concept for the Jefferson Building. The Visitor Experience Master Plan was submitted to Congress and approved in 2019. Called A Library for You, the new visitor experience invites visitors to discover more of the treasures, programs, and services we maintain on behalf of the American people. For over 125 years, the library has been committed to the protection and preservation of the Jefferson Building, a national treasure. The library will create new spaces through the thoughtful removal and replacement of existing temporary exhibits and through repurposing of unused storage spaces. The new structures and spaces will reside within the building in a similar fashion to current exhibits and leave the historic structure and architectural details unchanged. Work began in 2019, and while the pandemic did slow our progress, we opened the David M. Rubenstein Treasure Gallery and Library Gift Shop in June of this year. The remaining features include a reimagined gallery exploring the early Americas, an orientation gallery, and an education center, which will open in the next few years. New wayfinding will be completed and installed in phases. The Thomas Jefferson Building wayfinding and signage is designed to be clean, accessible, and straightforward, and freestanding to minimize impacts on our historic Thomas Jefferson Building. Here you see the exhibit casework being brought into the library's second floor via a crane. Once in the building, the casework was moved into a gallery. Opened to the public in June of 2024, this new gallery offers visitors a window into the library's collections, creating a public space where visitors can see firsthand some of the fascinating and special items held by the library in rotating thematic exhibitions. The inaugural installation, entitled Collecting Memories, Treasures from the Library of Congress, explores how cultures preserve memory, including the library's role in preserving collective memories representing entire societies, important moments in history, and individual lives. Collecting Memories will run for 18 months, with artifact rotations every 6 months. In 2026, the next installation, utilizing the same casework and gallery layout, will celebrate America's 250th birthday. This is a preliminary isometric view of the casework structure developed during the project's design phase, and a view of the completed gallery from outside the exhibit hall. Visitors can move freely within the gallery, viewing the collection items from multiple vantage points. There are 14 windows in the gallery, 7 on each side. For artifact conservation reasons, ambient sunlight from within the gallery needed to be blocked, so we turned 10 of the windows, 5 on each side, into projection surfaces. A bespoke looped video highlights library collection items. The video features motion, animation of many of the artifacts, and an audio soundtrack. This dynamic audiovisual piece envelops the gallery and complements the artifacts in the cases. Here are just a few examples of the treasure's exhibit contents. Librarian of Congress Dr. Carla Hayden assisted with the exhibit installation of the contents of Abraham Lincoln's pockets. When Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. on April 14, 1865, he was carrying 2 pairs of spectacles and a lens polisher, a pocket knife, a watch fob, a linen handkerchief, and a brown leather wallet containing a $5 Confederate note, and 8 newspaper clippings, including several favorable to the president and his policies. Given to his son, Robert Todd, upon Lincoln's death, these everyday items, which through association with tragedy have become like relics, were kept in the Lincoln family for more than 70 years. The exhibit also features Abraham Lincoln's handwritten draft of the Gettysburg Address. The Source. The library's new education center, called The Source, will provide children ages 8 and older and their families with a space to discover how information and research can nourish curiosity, creativity, and change. The space also will host teens with special programming and volunteer and internship opportunities. Through fun, hands-on activities and interactive experiences, children will explore the library's resources while modeling the research process by finding information, analyzing primary sources, and considering perspectives. For example, the rendering shown here features the box bar area, where visitors can explore curated stories of research conducted by both adults and children using library resources. Each box contains a different artifact-specific story with facsimiles of library collection materials. Some boxes have puzzles with clues that kids unlock, step by step to answer a research question. Other boxes allow for self-directed discovery. The library relocated its gift shop to make room for the Source. A sculptural interactive card catalog will be featured in the gallery. It incorporates projected media pieces, activated upon opening the card catalog drawers, and they highlight various library collections. We're also moving one of the library's ongoing exhibitions, Voices of the Early Americas, to a new location with a new curatorial narrative and new design. In 2 contiguous gallery spaces, the exhibition combines ancient objects, colonial and modern paintings, books, manuscripts and maps, and contemporary photography and poetry to encourage visitors to listen to the voices of Indigenous and Europeans, understanding of each other and the Americas. These voices tell many stories from multiple perspectives, reflecting on the making of the world, the rise and fall of empires, and everyday forms of dispossession, destruction, resistance, creativity, and ingenuity. Here you can see an isometric view of the new galleries developed during the project's design phase. This project is currently in the fabrication phase. The image on the left is a photo of a larger gallery as it's being prepped for the exhibit installation. The image on the right is a rendering of the gallery showing what is to come. The exhibition will highlight key pieces of the library's Kislak collection, many of them displayed for the first time through a state-of-the-art transparent artifact wall. The Orientation Gallery. The Orientation Gallery is a new, almost 9,000 square foot exhibition space that will communicate the library's story, its origin, history, mission, and many functions. Its foundational collection, the Thomas Jefferson's Personal Library, will be featured in this gallery. Interpretive videos, oral history stations, immersive interactive environments, and collection materials will be on display in engaging and meaningful ways. At the gallery's center, visitors will be enveloped by collection items curated to show how the library's divisions build their collections, but displaying a range of material emphasizing creativity, community, and culture. This rendering is an elevation with a proposed layout of artifacts. This rendering shows an art and architecture immersive interactive. Visitors will explore an interactive table showing details of the Thomas Jefferson Building Surrounding them will be projections of some of the building's interior art and design. I want to thank you all for allowing me to share the library's exciting new strategic plan, A Library for All. The library's mission, vision, strategic goals, objectives will continue to guide the library as we build on our success to do more for Congress and more for the American people and our users around the world through these initiatives and more over the coming years. On behalf of the Library of Congress, I'm honored that the National Diet Library has chosen to look at our plan as you engage in the development of your new strategic work. I look forward to productive meetings with NDL stakeholders in the coming days, and right now for what promises to be a thought-provoking discussion with today's panelists. Thank you.